Okay, in this first video we're going to look at Cisco Packet Tracer. So we've got a link on our desktop. Let's just start the program going. And we'll maximize it. So this is a piece of software that allows us to play and build computer networks. Allows us to simulate traffic going through them and actually use it a bit like a real network, so we can go onto devices. It's an incredibly powerful piece of software. We're just going to look at a few of the features for it. So let's get going really. The big white area is our blank desktop, so we can drag stuff up onto there. The basic way we select the devices that we want is down here in the bottom left hand corner, and you can see if I move over the devices, the first block are all routers. If I click on them, there's a whole series of different routers here. If I click on the next one, it's switches, and there's different switches, hubs, wireless devices, different kinds of cables, lots of end devices, security WAN, custom made devices, and multi-user connections. We're only going to be using a fraction of the power of this particular piece of software, so don't worry what all the other devices do. We're just going to concentrate on the ones that we want for now. So what we're going to do is we're going to go on to wireless devices, and we're going to select this particular bit of kit here, a WRT300N. You click on it and drag it up onto the screen, and that's our basic router. Now if you've dragged something up by mistake, I'm just going to drag up a computer as well just to show you the difference. So I'm clicking on end devices now. I'm just going to drag up a generic computer here. So if we've selected something by mistake, now you'll notice I've just clicked off the device. When you've selected it, it's gone slightly grey. Yeah. If we click away from it, they're now dark. If I've got one of these wrong, I just click on the cross up here. I can bring my cross onto the screen, and I can delete the item I want. Be very careful, you've still got the cross selected, so it's very easy to delete things accidentally. When you finish deleting what you don't want, just go back and get the selection tool there. So this is our basic router, and go back to our end devices, and I want a basic computer. We're going to have a basic laptop up here as well, and I think we'll have a let's go and connect a smart device. Okay, so I've pulled those three devices up there onto the network, and gosh, already the smartphone is connected to the wireless router. This is because what the router is doing is coming with a no security on there and a default SSID. So with no configuration, the smartphone's been able to connect already. Potentially quite a worry, but we'll sort that one out in a minute. Okay, so those are the basic end devices that we want to connect to our home router. If we actually have a look at the router now, we can click on it. You saw that before, and we've got three tabs up here: the physical tab, the config, and the GUI. When we go to the physical tab, this gives us a picture of what our router looks like, and that should look pretty much like any home router that you've got at home. There's a port there in blue to connect to the wider area network out to your ISP. There's 4 ports here to connect to your home internal LAN. These are wired ports, and there's some aerials in this case because it's also a wireless access point. So it looks pretty much like your standard home router. If we want to actually connect things up to it now, so here's our normal PC. We can click on the PC and have a look at that. Here's a picture of our PC, and on the front, yeah, we've got a standard Ethernet port there. So if we want to connect the PC to the router, we need to go to our cables. You'll see there's lots of different cables here. As I click on them, it tells me there's a copper straight through, that one there, that one was a rollover cable, copper crossover, fiber. So there's lots of different cables. Now you need to know what type they are. So we're going to go for a straight through because that's the one I want. So I now move up here, and this should look like a little RJ45 plug. Click on the PC, and I plug it into the Ethernet port on the computer. I drag it down to the router, click on the router, and I've got a choice of ports, and I'm going to plug it into one of the LAN ports, which is Ethernet 1. Now you'll see we've got a green light on one end and an orange light on the other. This is a particular protocol that's running at the moment, which is just checking the link, and you'll see that that light will go green in a little bit. So we want to connect to the laptop. Now the laptop, If we have a click on the laptop, we can have a look at the side view of it here. It's a bit of an old laptop this. Let's just zoom in a bit. If we go and look at the edge of the laptop, it's actually got a removable card here, which at the moment's got an Ethernet port. We want to connect our laptop wirelessly. So if we take this Ethernet port out, and you pick it out by dragging it, dropping it up here, well done, you've just blown up that laptop because you forgot to turn the power off. So what we've got to do first of all is turn the power off. You can see the light's gone out now. We can now remove the Ethernet card, and we want to put in the wireless card. It's actually down here in my case, but if it's not in yours, you want to go for this module up here, WPC300N. When you click on that, this one will appear here. You can drop the wireless card in, and don't forget to switch your laptop back on. Okay, so that's our laptop, and there you go, it connected straight away. Now if we want to get our network set up configuration wise, we've got a bit more work to do, but we'll come to that later. This is just giving me the basic configuration of physically configuring these devices. At the moment we're in what's called the logical view, shown by this tab up here, and behind there's another tab called the physical view, and we'll just explain what's going on in. Okay, so here in the physical tab we've got the layout of a particular town, I suppose. Sorry, a country really. It's got a home city in. We can add new cities. You can see an option here to add a new city. If we click into the home city, and by the way we can rename cities if we want. Click into the home city, you can see we've got kind of roads and areas. At the moment we've got no buildings in here, but we can put new buildings in. We've just got this corporate office. I'm just going to move it down so it's kind of more centrally. If I go into the corporate office, and just before I do, you'll see this circle around the corporate office. If you go back to your physical tab and think about what this device here is, it's a wireless router. Clearly the wireless will have a certain coverage area, and what we're seeing in the physical view here is the coverage area of the actual wireless device. If we now go into the corporate office, we're now in the office. You can see that this is a building, it's got rooms and so on. If you want to zoom in and out as you're going through here, you can do as well, but what we're going to do for the moment is just come up here, and we've got all our devices here. We've got our router, we've got our laptop, we've got our tablet and our PC. You'll see up here we've actually got a wiring closet, so I'm just going to bring the wiring closet down into the corner of the room, and what I want to do now is I want to put the router in the wiring closet. Now you don't kind of just drop it on like that, because it's still considered in the corporate office at this stage. If we want to move this actually into the wiring closet, what we do is we say move object. So you click on move object, you get this strange cursor, you put the cursor of the device you want to move, and you get an option where to move it to. Now you want to move it into the home city, into the corporate office, and into the main wiring closet. And there we go, it's gone into the main wiring closet now. If we go into that wiring closet, here it is. What we can do here is come down. It's a bit big at the moment, so we'll zoom in. There's our wireless router just sitting on the table. Let's just zoom in so you can actually see it. What you'll also notice, you can actually see our lead here from our one PC plugged in, and the PC is obviously going off. It's not showing us, but if there's other tables or other racks of equipment in here, then we could see other things in this particular space. If we want to come back out of the wiring closet now, we click back, we're in the corporate office, and we can do things like, you know, put the PC in a particular area, the wireless laptop, and put the smartphone wherever we want to go. And there's our corporate office area. And obviously in a bigger picture we could design this with many different computers. A very quick thing you can do is actually worry about where your wires go. So we've got the wire running along here. If I click on the wire and say create bend point, I can actually click on the actual bend point. I can actually run my cable a particular way. I think I've zoomed out a bit too far here to do this. Let me just zoom in a bit. Create another bend point there. we can run our cable a particularly different route if we want to. Okay, so we'll come back out of there. You can see this is going on in our corporate office. So obviously at the moment the wireless devices are well within inside the footprint, but if we went back into the corporate office and we moved the laptop and we moved the smartphone outside of the corporate office and back into the town, we could actually pull them outside of the wireless area and then they wouldn't be able to connect. So that's the physical tab. It's quite advanced doing stuff in the physical tab, but at least you get a picture of how things are laid out in the real world. From just a straightforward operational view, what we're interested in quite often and we work in is this logical tab, where you can see we've got this basic connectivity.